Yep. Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Adam McCullough TV. I am Adam. We are back for another United Daily. Hope you guys are all doing well. Look what happened to me overnight. Yes, I absolutely went crazy and Britney'd it, didn't I? Wow. Still some hair there, but most of it is gone. I couldn't cope anymore. This lockdown has got me pulling my hair out, quite literally. My hair has gone, but my sanity is still there just about, and we're here this morning to go through all the latest Manchester United news, all the latest Manchester United subscriber questions from you guys in the comments, and of course plenty more as well. So make sure you're keeping it locked this morning on Adam McCullough TV. Remember, this is usually at 12 p.m. BST, but I've got to shoot later on today at that time, at around that time. So I thought, let me do this earlier, get this out of the way, then I can focus on that a little bit later on today. I can see all you guys already reacting. We've got two tiers: Regatale, Glenn, Shivesh, Lone Wanderer, Anshesh, Fitzroy, and Azza in the comments as well. So thank you very much for joining us this morning, on the morning when it says, after United let Herrera go last summer for free to Paris Saint-Germain, could United be about to return the favour? Well, could PSG be about to return the favour and send a player our way on a free transfer? Thomas Meunier is the latest player linked with Manchester United. Now, there's been so many players linked with United. Of course, Sancho. Of course, Grealish. Of course, Maddison. We've even had the usual suspects of Ronaldo and Gareth Bale popping up. Then we've had the likes of Matthijs De Ligt, Erling Haaland popping back up again after just months since they joined their new clubs. Incredible at the moment. And today we are being linked with Thomas Meunier. So that's what's going on right here on Adam McCullough TV. We're going to be discussing that rumour. We're going to be discussing Gary Neville tearing into the health secretary. We're going to be looking at the PFA's plan, as well as Januzaj admitting he still loves Manchester United. So that's what we've got to talk about today. As at, we will have none of that. I am the A-Tech, yeah? The A-Tech version of McCullough. He's the B-Tech version of McCullough. Let's get that in town. Yes, Glenn is in full support of the trim. Thank you very much for boosting my confidence a little bit. If Meunier comes in, I fear the worst for Dalot, says Glenn. And I was really thinking about how this affects Diogo Dalot. What it would do for him if this was true. Or is this true because we're planning on sending Diogo Dalot out on loan or something like that? We've got a number of fullbacks at Manchester United that are very, very highly talented, that have got abundance of talent, and that are knocking the door down to get first team minutes. Diogo Dalot, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's our first choice right back. At left back, you could probably say towards the tail end of the season it looked like Luke Shaw was first choice, but he had occupied that spot with Brandon Williams on a very even basis throughout most of the season. So you look at that, we've got four. You could also bring into the mix Ethan Laird as well, who can play in those positions, and a couple of other players, Timothy Fosu-Mensah being another one. We are spoilt for choice in those fullback areas, and maybe sending Diogo Dalot out on loan to get him some experience, to get him competitive, regular first team football, and then bring Meunier in to be a squad option. So it's not Diogo Dalot sitting on the bench doing fuck all. It's someone that's a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, that can still come in, has had a lot of football behind him. That could be sensible, but I don't think there's anything in this one. I really don't think there's anything in this one. Again, you'll be surprised to hear, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think there's anything in this one. I think AC Milan and Dortmund are interested. I think there was one point where we heard like the Dortmund move was pretty much guaranteed. He was going to move to Dortmund, and now obviously they've gone quiet on that front. And United have been dragged into the mix. Now there'll be plenty of clubs looking at him. He's played a lot of football for PSG up until football was postponed. I think around 20 odd games, which isn't a bad record for someone that's available and a free in the summer. They'll surely probably want to sign him down, with the fact that they can get a little bit of money in for him. if they were to sell him. And of course, when you think about PSG, their financial fair play regulations, guidelines are always being pushed to the very limit. So if they can ensure that they get any money in, losing players on a free isn't ideal for them. We got Jeremy Vea and Rec Fletcher in the comments. And remember, guys, for the interview that I've got coming later on today, you've still got time to get your questions in for that. So we've got about an hour and a half to the shoot to that. Yeah. So that shoots in an hour and a half. Now, if you want to get your questions in for the player that we're interviewing today, and there's a few hints behind me on the shirts behind me, then you can join Adam McCullough TV. Joining Adam McCullough TV, you support the channel. You support us making the content here, because everything is going to be stepping up a whole host. Not only that, you get exclusive content on a monthly basis as well. You get to join a Discord forum kind of chat that we created yesterday for the AMTV squad over there. You get like Q&A priority and all that good stuff as well. And if I ever release some merch, you'll get a discount code off that. So that's what's going on AMTV Premium. So if you want to join, feel free to do that. If you can't join for whatever reason, you're under 18 or I don't know what the situation is, then it doesn't matter. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. But if you can join and you fancy getting a little bit extra and you even want to get your question answered by a former Manchester United player, then get your questions in over there, because I've revealed who we're interviewing today and that you can get your questions in. So feel free to do that. Can we get 3 new members on this stream? Let's see if we can do that. But we got Shivesh in the comments saying Everett. Day one on Discord, says Bailey. Yes, my day one gang. How old is Meunier, as he don't fit our young team, I think, says Glenn. Now, if you remember in the 10 things that Ollie must fix video that I did, Glenn, I was saying we need a little bit of experience. And actually, this fella's about, I think he's 29, but let me just double check for you. I think he is 29. Belgian footballer, 28 years old. He turns 29 in September. So when he makes this move, he'd be turning 29, wouldn't he? Now, obviously, let me see. Is this season, he played 20 games, 1 goal. Not a bad appearance record for someone that's about to leave. So he's played regular football. Is he going to come to United though? I don't think so. Sorry, I just don't. What do you guys think? Get it in the comments below. Is Thomas Meunier going to be coming to Manchester United? Get it in them comments. I don't think so. Now, a story that I really want to chat about is Gary Neville laying into this health secretary bellend, Matt Hancock. Now, the footballers obviously earn an incredible amount of money. They earn in a month what we'll probably never earn in a lifetime. They earn a ridiculous amount, some of these footballers. And that goes without saying. But I say that to say this. Matt Hancock coming out and having a go at footballers and having a go at the wages of footballers and coming out and saying footballers should be taking pay cuts and they should be helping out is a load of bollocks from a government that have cut budgets to the police force, to the health force, to the education system, to everything left, right and centre, to benefit their wealthy mates and their banker friends and their big corporate conglomerate friends and all those kind of things. For a government to come out and say that Premier League footballers should be responsible for sorting this issue out or playing a bigger part in sorting this issue out is absolute bollocks. They will be one of the highest tax bracket people in the country. There's thousands of millionaires in this country. There's about 500 footballers. How can you really point the finger at footballers and start calling them out? How about you call out your mates? You get plenty of opportunity to do that on a weekly basis. But you don't be doing that. And I was glad Gary Neville stood up and teared into him. Because Gary Neville's someone that can be able to get a platform. And he has a platform and he's allowed to give his opinion. And also, when he gives his opinion, people more often than not listen because of the way he portrays his opinion and because of the platform that he has. Because, you know, if a footballer was to come out with it, if a footballer was to come out with this, it'd be, oh, the rich, arrogant, you know, footballer. Whereas if someone that, yes, is an ex-footballer, but he's older, he's longer in the tooth, he knows what he's talking about, has come out and said it, people will sit up and listen a little bit. But these geezers are bellends, man. I genuinely don't understand how you can reason our footballers are the problem. Piss off. Yes, footballers have to help. Yes, footballers have to step up and you know, and if their clubs are in financial disarray or whatever, they have to be flexible in what's going on. But also, footballers have a life as well. Footballers have contracts that are there. Some of these football clubs will still be earning money. Why should they not be paid? Mad. Fucking bellends. It's the government's responsibility to regulate funds fairly, says Jacob OC. Still remember your debate with Gary at the start of the season. That was lit, says Shivesh. Yeah, that was amazing. I enjoyed that. I think it got around 4 million views when you look at YouTube and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. It was madness. That video went crazy. But it was a really good video, and I like Gary in that. After that video, I was chatting to him. I got my shirt signed for my old man. Like, I did all, like, he didn't take it personally. I didn't take it personally. We were just having a debate as Manchester United fans. We had a difference of opinion. Now, I think I've been proven right over the last couple of weeks and months. But, you know, he can have his opinion. I had mine. We shook hands after it. He signed my shirt. Happy days. I don't mind Gary Neville at all. He's got some good opinions, some bad opinions that I don't agree with. But ultimately, I think it comes from a good place more often than not. P Savage, Bailey, all in the house. Members gang in the house. It doesn't matter if you're late. You can wheel this thing up. Wheel it up. Exactly, the government have been starving the NHS for the last 12 years. All of a sudden they're saying save the NHS. Should have been investing in it from the start, says Rec. I wouldn't mind Meunier, but feel as though it's unneeded, as I feel like he'd crave first team football is on high wages, says Bailey. P with the lo in the comments. Anshesh is currently completing his assignment and listening to Maka. Now, when you guys are, is that a college assignment? Is that a uni assignment? What kind of situation you're in at the moment? Because I was under the impression that a lot of unis and colleges and stuff had shut down and weren't having finals and results. But what's the situation there? What you studying? Good luck, mate. Adam is ready for war trim. Yeah, man, Jesus. I couldn't cope with the long hair anymore. I really couldn't cope. I cracked. In my opinion, footballers don't need to take pay cuts or anything of the sort. My experience, the government are covering 80% and Norwich City are paying staff 20%. So I get full pay. I'm guessing you work for Norwich City then. Yeah, that's not bad at all, is it? Was that a clue there, you? Back at your shirts to the guest? Yes! If you haven't noticed, I've changed a few of the shirts. We've got... this one got moved over a little bit, so you can't see that one. The checkered one. The blue one is one of my favourite. Remember when I was talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? That story the other day about Solskjaer and him signing my shirt. That's the shirt that he signed in Manchester Airport after that 2009 final. I love that shirt. He definitely wore that one. That one. Wore a fair few of them. It's lunchtime in India, gotta go, says Shivesh. Gotta go at lunchtime. I thought you would have had more room at lunchtime, more space at lunchtime. But nevertheless, thank you for tuning in. I should probably get up out of bed, says Shay. Still early yet, 10:15. Could watch the rest of this and get back to kit. It's 2:45, you're late, Shivesh, says Minnie in the comments. Damn straight. So yeah, fuck Matt Hancock and fuck the government. And fuck Boris Bellens. PFA plan to block any wage deferrals on that topic of players' wages and stuff like that as well. A lot of clubs have been looking to pause contracts or pause wage payments and carry them on once football continues. And the PFA have been advising players not to accept that without speaking to them at first, because it's not understood yet whether it's a case of, are they being paid that money later on? Are they just not being paid it at all? Like, what's going to happen with them? Some clubs are in different situations, obviously. At Spurs, it's incredible. I think all non-playing staff have been given a wage reduction. That's the kind of thing that I can understand. You know, I can understand the confusion amongst fans. Like, how come the players are still getting paid a full whack but nobody else is? Surely you take the hit together. And they're the ones at the club that are in a position to take the hit together. I get that. But when pricks like Matt Hancock are coming out talking bullshit, I don't get that. Keeping me sane without any footy whilst I'm still at work. We all need to get ready to see United flying next season, says United man. I've got the elusive Valencia 7 shirt. Nice. Do you not think Sancho could be another Pogba coming in on big money and the pressure of him delivering, says Demon X? I don't know. And I don't actually think Pogba was a bad sign. I still don't think that. I think United failed more than Pogba failed. I think obviously Pogba's not fulfilled his £90 million price tag, and he's not fulfilled the expectations that we have upon him of arriving. But United haven't fulfilled our expectations of them in the transfer market, off the pitch, on the pitch in the last 5-6 years. So how can we just blame one player for that? You can't. You have to blame a whole structure. When managers get sacked, and when Jose Mourinho got sacked, we all said he had a big part to play in that. He had a big part to play in his own downfall, and he has to take a look at it. But ultimately, there's a bigger problem at Manchester United, and Paul Pogba is not the problem at Manchester United. Jose Mourinho was not the problem at Manchester United. They may have done things wrong, they may have got things wrong along the way, but they weren't the biggest problems. And I think it's unfair to say that they are, because a club the size of Manchester United, it can survive without one person or one player. It's the other things that make a bigger impact on the way the club's run and the fortunes of the club on the pitch. And we quite simply haven't got things right. We haven't. Yes, Samoan 85 back in his house. What did I miss? I'm at work. I am a caretaker, says Samoan. So we've been talking about Thomas Meunier for you guys that are joining us late, and potentially Manchester United signing Thomas Meunier on free when his contract is up at the end of the current season. He's been linked with a move to Dortmund and AC Milan, so much so that I was pretty much certain he was going to Dortmund when this article first came up, and I read it. But it is sticking, and a lot of people are talking about it. Now, it could be a case that, nobody knows what they're talking about, and it's just another story for story's sakes, because we need these stories when it's so quiet. The journalists are going to be plucking things out of their arses right now, just trying to think of anything. But Thomas Meunier linked to United. Now, it could point out one thing if it was true. Are we trying to maybe move Diogo Dalot away on loan, maybe an Ethan Laird on loan as well, bringing a little bit of experience, bringing a little bit of competition for Wan-Bissaka, and see how we can move forward from there? Or is it just absolute bollocks? Would you be for the signing of Thomas Meunier at Manchester United, or would you be someone that you'd rather see us not sign? If you saw the video that I did yesterday, a warning to Manchester United fans, I mentioned in that video that we may not sign that many people in the summer, and maybe bringing in someone like Thomas Meunier on a free deal that wouldn't rock the boat too much in terms of your squad would be a sensible acquisition. That's not to say this is true or it's going to happen, but that is a possibility. Jeremy says, what do you think about next season? What do you think are going to start? They are planning to continue the season in July. They don't have a clue how they're going to plan for the next season, to be honest. Yeah, it's all up in the air, but the simple facts are, if they don't consider continue this season, they're going to miss out on a lot of money. So it's in their interest to continue this season because of that fact. Joined a bit late, says Turgy. But did Meunier not miss a couple of training sessions at PSG because he was at Old Trafford watching United? I've never heard of that, so I don't know. But if you did, let me know in the comments below. You guys can probably do the research for me right now. Minnie says Meunier won't come. Morning, Damien. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Glenn, don't you worry, mate. It's all good. If only Pogba was our biggest problem, says Turgy. It'd be a good biggest problem to have, wouldn't it? And I totally get what you're saying there. Guys, make sure you're liking this video. Make sure you're subscribing, commenting, sharing. Of course, we've got that interview coming later. It'll be released tomorrow. Remember, these videos, if you're joining us now or you've joined us later and you thought, yo, Matt, why did you go early? It was because of the fact I've got that shoot later. Now, I'm not going to reveal on here. I have revealed over on my members section who the interview is with, and you can get questions in if you want. So click that join button now. There's still a bit of time to get your questions in for the interviewee later on today. But right now we're looking at the latest news. United linked with, of course, Thomas Meunier. We've been linked with a whole host of players. Gary Neville taking a dig at Matt Hancock, which was pretty good from me. The PFA coming out and saying they're not for players taking wage deferrals, and they want players to discuss that with them. If you look through the rest of the, I'm scrolling down news now. These are the things you can see. Paul Pogba there again. Werner's there. Niguez is there again. Jadon Sancho, Jude Bellingham, Marcus Rashford being an amazing human being as usual. Michelle Owen. Is that supposed to be Michael Owen? Who's Michelle Owen? There's just no news out there at the moment, guys. There's no news out there, guys. United Daily soon might just be me coming on for half an hour every single day, having a chat about how your life is. That's where we might be going right now, because there's no stories out there at the moment, and everyone is struggling. Meunier is a United fan. He said so himself, says Minnie. So that adds a new little thing to the mix. We know what Ollie's like with players that want to play for Man United or have dreamt of playing for Man United. We've seen how it's worked with Odion Ighalo. Could Thomas Meunier be the next one for it to happen to? Who knows? Who knows? Pereira and Lingard better be gone or someone's cruising for a bruising. Januzaj in, so should we miss out on Sancho, says Glenn Lim. Januzaj has been talking about Manchester United recently, and he says he misses Manchester United. He loves the club, and you would do spending a lot of time there, wouldn't you, as a player, and spending a lot of your formative years there. I was a big fan of Adnan Januzaj, so much so that I did some outrageous tweets about him and Raheem Sterling and all sorts in the past that we're not going to go into right now. But Adnan Januzaj was a supremely talented kid. It didn't go to plan for him at Manchester United. He's doing okay now at Real Sociedad, getting involved with Odegaard and the like. And will he come back to United? I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. Daily Express are reporting the Saul Niguez fee is 70 million, says Bailey. Just to clear that up, it's not quite that. The fee is 70 million. What the original report was, which was a load of tosh, was that United wanted to pay £135 million for Saul Niguez, which is his release clause, and we were confident of making the deal happen. It actually said Woodward is confident of making the deal happen. And then after that, there was another story that came out and immediately sort of backtracked upon that, saying, no, United don't want to spend 135 million. The most they want to spend is 75 million. Yes, Randy Navage in the comments. Macho man, Randy Navage. Yes, Nav. What you saying, bro? Saul Niguez is a beast. If you got him and Meunier, big improvement. Yeah, Saul Niguez would be a 6 signing. Just don't see it happening. Just don't see it happening. I know there's Kian in the comments who says, I don't think we will get Saul Niguez. Not Grealish. He's a team player. He'd fight for United spot. He knows it's not Villa anymore. Januzaj let his chance go. Oh, wow, says Mini. Which is a little bit sad. Jake Brannon has just commented an egg. I see what you did there, mate. I see what you did there, and I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. Mac, I mean Nav, back me up here, bro. You got egghead as well, like me. Sort this out. Saul deal won't happen, people. Forget he's got heart problems. That's why Madrid gave him such a big contract last time. Too much of a risk. They gave him a big contract because he's got heart problems. That sounds a bit silly to me. Sounds very bit silly to me. But nevertheless. Manav says, ain't Meunier a right back? Do we need him? Good question. Meunier is a right back. Do we need him? Possibly, if we let Diogo Dalot go out on loan. If that's the plan, I don't know if it is. You could see sense in that plan. Couldn't you? Diogo Dalot going out on loan. Get regular first team football week in, week out. Or you could use Diogo Dalot further afield. Use him as a alternative winger. On the left or the right. Substitution in games. He can come on at fullback, right back, left back. Kian says, I prefer Ethan Laird to get game time over Meunier. Says Kian. And that's a good shout. Ethan Laird is highly rated. He can play on the right, he can play on the left. Before Brandon Williams come through, it was Ethan Laird we were looking at as the man that's going to get the chance in the Manchester United team. Now, obviously that didn't come through, and Ethan Laird didn't get that because of injury and whatnot. Brandon Williams did, and he's taken his chance. Now, at the moment in time, he's at the club. Brandon Williams is at the club. Luke Shaw's at the club. Diogo Dalot's at the club. All players that can play left back. Brandon, Ethan and Diogo can also play right back. But then you got Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Aaron Wan-Bissaka that can also play right back. We've got an abundance of fullbacks. Now, if we were to let a few of them go out on loan, just say we let Diogo Dalot, Ethan Laird go out on loan. We brought in Thomas Meunier on a free transfer. You're then looking at a short-term solution at right back in the squad position where he's not so old that he's over the hill, but is not so young that he's going to get in the way of the younger fullbacks. And then, once that happens, you can then obviously start bringing through Laird and Dalot once they've had their time out. Of course, they may not go out on loan. That may not be the plan at all. And this might just all be bollocks and United are not interested in Thomas Meunier. His agent's using United's name to get those links up with AC Milan and Borussia Dortmund. Les Ward in the house. He wants to know how old Meunier is. Meunier is 29 years old in September. So if United would sign him, he'd be 29 years old, wouldn't he? If AWB gets injured, we'd need an experienced backup, says P. Savage, on the reasons why it would be good to use Meunier. We could use Meunier's experience. Mini Jeremy says, what about the wage for Meunier? Are you going to pay more than Wan-Bissaka? Probably, possibly, you know. I don't know what Wan-Bissaka's on. It's a good shout, that. But you wouldn't want to pay more than Wan-Bissaka if it's going to be Wan-Bissaka's deputy, would you? So that's a good shout that I never really thought of. Don't believe we'll sign Sancho or Saul unless they're on a free. Sancho's not going to be on a free. Saul's not going to be on a free. Clubs can't pay staff. People losing jobs because of the virus. People struggling. Government taking loans. Don't see United spending £100 million. I see us spending, but not spending as much as people expect. So maybe we'll go all out on Sancho. We'll maybe sign Igalo on a permanent deal, and then that would be it. I wouldn't be surprised to see that be the case. As you said, clubs are struggling around the world at the moment. None more so than in Spain and Italy as well. And even the bigger clubs are being affected. They're having to have their players take wage deferrals, wage cuts, etc. And yeah, I can't see them buying Pogba. So with that being said, I can't see us buying Grealish or Saul Niguez or any of these kind of midfielders. So then you're looking at who else? I can see Sancho coming in. I can see Igalo staying. And that's it. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if we only signed 2 players. 2 players. And one of them already plays for United at the moment. Scott says, do you think Timbo could be a decent rotation right back? It's an interesting one with Timbo because we don't know where he is at the moment. What's the situation? Where are you currently with your injuries and stuff? If he can come back and be what he was and start building himself back up again, then I'd be all for Timbo coming through and offering himself in the first team. It's just whether that actually happens. We don't know whether it's possible yet. So we need to wait and see what goes down on that front, of course. Guys, thank you for tuning in to the United Daily today. Remember, we're back at the usual time from tomorrow, which is 12 p.m. BST. This one was a little bit earlier today because of the interview we've got later. Remember, if you want to find out early who that interview is with and get through your last minute questions, you can click that join button and become a member. We didn't get the 3 members we wanted, but that's not a thing. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Make sure you're subscribing as well, liking, commenting, sharing. For now, I'm going to get out of here. We're going to get this interview done. That interview is going to be up either later or tomorrow, so make sure you're keeping it locked for that. We've got Straight Up MUFC coming later on today as well. I believe we've got loads going on, but first I'm going to get this video sorted, get this edited, and then get everything else on the go. But we've got daily content here on Adam McCullough TV, so make sure you like and comment and share and subscribing and joining. And for now, you lot have been legends. I've been Adam McCullough. I'm out of here.